Hey guys, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, April 1st, April Fools. 6:21 right now. Market's going to open in about 9 minutes. So let me go and set up this room real quick, and then we will get started with our session for today. So we got this set up right here. That's good. That's it right there. All right. Got this right here. Couple last things right here, and we should be good to go. All right. It's good. All right, looks like we're good. Let me get this link sent out to you guys here in the premium, and then we'll get started our analysis this morning. All right, let's see. Good right here. All right, cool. People are making the win right now, guys. So I'm going to let people join. As people make their way into the room, I'm going to go ahead and mark up the liquidity for this morning. So we got liquidity right here. And obviously you guys can see there's a lot of crazy movement due to NFP today. So anyways, good morning, guys. Happy Friday. Today's Friday, April 1st, which is also lands on April Fool's Day. It's 6:24 right now. Market's going to open in about 6 minutes. I think this is, if there's anything else here. I think there's like one more right here. I think that's it. Yeah. All right, cool. So that's all of the liquidity there. Looks like there's not a lot, but there's, a decent amount on both ends here. It looks like when the NFP data came out, it kind of just knocked out all the liquidity that was pending, but it's all good. There will be more liquidity that will build up. It's just a matter of time. Until right, just a matter of time until hey guys, morning everybody. So I'm just reading the chat. There's like a lot going on in the premium trade talk right now. Anyways, I'm gonna stick to these charts. You guys can go and mess around with the chat. I'm gonna stick to the charts right now. It's kind of funny what's going on in the chat right now. More so let's see. Morning everybody. Morning Ruin. Morning Miles. Morning Stern. I know. I just saw your message, Ruin. Morning Kenny. Morning Peter. Morning Solo. Morning Marlon. Morning John. Morning Mauricio. Morning Beded. Morning Maria. Morning Andreas. Morning Talanji. Morning Patrick. Morning Matthew. Morning Rashida. Morning Matt. Morning Jez. Morning Lisa. Morning Melanie. Morning Aaron. Morning everybody. But yeah, anyways, guys, I mean, you guys can hang out, have fun in the chat. You guys can be on this chart, make some money. I'm gonna be on this chart making some money. I'll check out the chat a little later. If anyone wants to go moderate it, feel free. I will be focused on these charts today. So anyways, good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. Let me see where the news was. I think it was at 5:30 this morning with NFP, I think that was it. So we got news at 5:30. Let me mark up news price, which is right over here. So news price right there. Same situation. Let's see over here. News price was right over there. Oops, wrong tool. We got this one right there. All right, cool. So we got that right there. I think we have some news coming up as well this morning. 6:45 and 7. So that's about it. 6:45 and 7. I'll mark that up here as well. Got news right here at 6:45. And 7. So we got some news right here mid-session. Not anything too crazy, but it is news, so we will mark it up. $6:45 and 7 o'clock. All right, guys, market's going to open in about 2 minutes. Let's take a look at the bias. Let's see where everything's sitting right now. Retail sentiment is currently 54% short. There's no strong bias right here with regard to retail sentiment. Looking over here at the fundamentals are currently up 140 points, but it can easily just shift to the downside at any moment. So retail sentiment is not really going to be a huge use for us today, unfortunately, but we will try to use it as much as possible. Fundamentals over here obviously are going to be, they're currently bullish, but we'll see what happens when the market actually opens, opening this right here. So I think the NFP news was positive. Yes, or no, it wasn't. It was actually negative. So NFP news was negative. Unemployment rate was positive. It was like half and half. So as you can see from this point, when the news came out, price kind of just dumped down pretty heavy, right? Price faked out to the upside, came all the way down, followed through, and then now it's correcting back to news price. So what we might see on open or like in the beginning of the session is we might get price swinging back up to news price over here. And then from there, it'll determine whether it's going to, continue dropping or it's going to continue pushing up. There's no clear direction right now. Obviously, you guys can see from this side, the news happened right here. Price came down, bounced up. It tried to retrace up to the news price and it didn't get all the way up there. Market's going to open in about 40 seconds. When the market does open, we will see where price goes for the breakout. We're looking for a strong red candle because we have a red momentum running at the moment. So currently right here, we're looking for a strong red candle because momentum is bullish. Hey, Jason, morning, Jonathan, morning, Al, morning, everybody. Morning, Steven. All right, guys, so market is opening in about 15 seconds. So we got a possible sell for the breakout, but we'll see what happens when the market does open. We got to see where the fundamentals are sitting. So market is now open, guys. There we got that spike to the downside. This is expected because the NFP news was negative. A lot of people are just getting into the market. I don't know if I'm going to trade today, guys. Usually I don't trade on NFP. Market's kind of crazy. You can see how much it's spiking right here, right? It's got a ton of volatility. Market just opened, spiked like 300 pips, 400 pips. And then you have these huge wicks on the bottom side. So this is due to the news, guys. So just keep in mind that this drop right here is because the NFP news here at 5:30 was negative, and a lot of people are just getting into the market right here. So you have a lot of pending orders waiting for the market to open. The market is now open, so it filled in, and then what you might see is a price spike right back up over there. So there you can see where price is spiking from. It's rejecting right from the Asia low, which is the sessions down here. I'm going to go ahead and mark this up if it does close. If not, which it doesn't look like it's going to. The invalid signal doesn't matter for the breakout, Stephen. It just depends where momentum is pushing. So invalid signal is fine because you're not entering off the signal. You're entering off the momentum push. So right here, there is no breakout because there's no strong red candle. In order for there to be a breakout, there needs to be a strong red candle in that direction. All right, so other than that, Let me see anything else over here. All right. So as you can see right here, price is not really going where it's trying to swing back up. I wouldn't be surprised if it swings back up and then goes back to news price. Let me mark up opening price though, so that you guys can remember where it's at. Opening price was right there. And then right over here as well. All right. So this is why you guys shouldn't be chasing moves, because price can bounce at some point. You can see where price bounced from. It bounced exactly from the key points that we always look for. Sessions, opening price, news price. Those are the main areas where you see a lot of rejections. Reason why I don't like trading around those points. So it's 632 right now. It doesn't look like we're gonna have a breakout. There's no strong red candle that's come up yet. So for the time being, we're going to be waiting for either a breakout to confirm or a reversal with a bullish strong candle with a buy signal. So I wouldn't consider that a strong red candle right there. There's wicks on both sides. The wick on the bottom is still kind of big compared to the body. Eunice said, why did CNBC release news that US30 jumped 100 points while it's going down? Where's that? I don't see that anywhere, Eunice, unless that's like old news, because I don't see it here on the website. Just refreshed it. Oh, you're talking about this right here. Well, when you check the fundamentals on open, it was actually up 100 points. So you can see from this point right here, this is probably what they were referring to. This little push that was pre-market. I mean, that's all I can think of, unless they're talking about from yesterday, because it did jump from like yesterday, like from right here up until here. Yeah, if it was like a late news article, then yeah, because this is 200 points from this point to here. From right here though, it was close to 100 points. So it might have just been like a late news article that just came up under breaking. But yeah, there's no breakout, guys. So you can see there's big wicks on all these candles right here. We'll see if this one has a big wick. Probably will be. But this is fine, because if we see this right here, we're gonna have price come up. So we have the breaking close past the sessions, right? Here's the second step, the retest. This is perfect. We get the retest right here. I'll draw a low right there, and if price breaks and close below that, we'll have a confirmation of a bearish bias. So if we have that, we'll just look for some sells. But it doesn't look like we're getting any, we're not getting a breakout. Or this is the last candle though. If this closes as a strong red candle below here, then we will have a red candle here, but we'll see, how price ends up dropping from here. So let's see, if this is a strong red candle, this would technically be the breakout. But this is the last candle that I can finalize on. Nope, doesn't look like it's gonna close. Nice. 13 said, I went on your chart analysis, Sean, made 3K, done for the day, went in Asia high, went first liquidity markup, about to cancel my trading view. LOL. Have a good weekend, everyone. See y'all on Monday. Yeah, definitely. So we'll see you 13. Got to see profited today so far. Hoping to catch at least maybe one trade, even a small trade, just to close out this week strong. If I don't see anything, it's great. I don't need to take trade. Like, one thing that you guys got to keep in mind is to never force any trades. So it's 6:36 now, guys. It's too late for the breakouts. The breakout is now over. What we're looking for at this point is we're looking for price to do one of two things. Price is currently right here in the middle. We want it to close below here. If it ends up closing below here, then it's going to confirm the bearish bias on the technical side. However, if price ends up closing above here, then we might see a reversal back to the upside, maybe up to opening price. right there, right? So something to keep in mind. There's two scenarios here that can play out. We just need to see where these candles close. If it closes above this line, we can probably expect it to push up to opening price. If it closes below this line, then we can probably expect it to drop even further. Yeah, no breakout today, Steven, unfortunately. So if you want to take the rest of the week off, you might as well just come back on Monday. All right, so price failed to close below here. Let's see what happens at this point. Price might be attempting another break and retest at this point here. Let's see, Rami said 632 candle and MT4 have a very small wick compared to trading view. Oh, I can see that. You're talking about, I think it's like this one over here, right, Rami? Yeah, this one right here, right? So, I mean, yeah, technically, we could have taken that as a breakout right there. But I would go off trading view charts versus MT4 because I feel like the MT4 charts are a little unreliable. So I personally, it's up to preference, but for me personally, from my experience, I think the MT4 charts, because you do see gaps on MT4 pretty often too, less than you do on trading view. So yeah, no, it is strange. It happens sometimes. It was probably just a price gap. Price is moving too fast on open. So anyways, as you guys can see right here, I drew up the scenario and you can see price is now pushing up. I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes up to opening price right here. Right? So this is what you guys always want to break down to. You guys always want to break down to two scenarios. You don't want to have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 scenarios where you're like, okay, price could go here, then it could go down, or it can go here, it could go up. You want two scenarios so that you have a 50% chance. Once you guys have that 50% chance, then you can start looking at other confluences, right? Because you can build up from there. You have 50% probability. You add, say the trend meter, right? It's opposite. So it's probably not going to add on to your confluence. You could add on the pivots. The trend is still bearish, so that's not going to add on to your confluence. You can look at fundamentals. Where are the fundamentals sitting? Fundamentals are green. So this may add to your confluence. You're like, okay, I'm looking for a buy because I think price is going to go up to opening price. You look at the fundamentals and you're like, oh, it's bullish. So okay, that adds to your confluence. Now, your probability of it pushing to opening price is a bit higher. It's not just 50% now, maybe it's 60%. You look over to retail sentiment, you're like, okay, if this was shorter, like say if this was like 60% short, then that would add more to your confluence. You'd have like maybe a 70% confidence that price will go up. However, it's not that strong. So realistically, there's only one confluence that's really pushing for a buy here, which is the fundamentals, but they're not very strong. So if you refresh this, it's below 100 points, right? You want it to be consistently above 100 points. And that's how you guys will build, not necessarily strategies, but confidence in your move, like whether you think price is going to go up or go down. So as you can see right here, price is now coming back down, which could it be easily happen because your probability of it pushing to this point wasn't very high, unless you had better confluences, right? So just something to keep in mind. As you can see right here, price is now here. Let me show you. It's doing the opposite now. So we had the bias for the sell earlier. Now the bias is for a buy. So let me draw this right here. Well, it hasn't closed yet, but we're looking for the same thing to play out. Basically, you can see this candle right here closed above. It came down for a retest. So here's a retest right here. And now you need price to close above here. If price closes above this point, then the bias will change back to a buy, right? We're currently still in a sell bias, but it just hasn't confirmed yet. So this bias right here is not confirmed. So hopefully it's making sense to you guys that like we were looking for a sell bias here. Price didn't close below this point. So it ended up swinging back up. Then we had the possible reversal, but price didn't end up pushing above here either. Now it's back in the middle again where it started. It's right down here in the middle. And we're just waiting for that bias to confirm. You can see price is in a range, right? If you zoom out a little bit, it's easy for you to see that price is literally just going sideways right here. So what you're looking for at this point is you're looking for price to either break out to the upside or break out to the downside so that you guys can have a bias. It hasn't been clear like this entire week. If you guys have been following the live sessions all week, the bias hasn't been clear. We've had a lot of range, like pretty much all throughout the week so far. Here, let me scroll over here real quick. Nice. So John said I got a short position at the high. Good, good for the day. Have a great weekend, everyone. So John actually caught a really nice entry off the higher high, which was up here. It looks like he just wrote it down. Basically, he pretty much waited for the break for the news, because the news happened right here, unemployment. So he caught it from like way up here and just wrote it down. So nice work, John. Kenny's asking, is the market setting up for a trap? So not necessarily a trap, it's just setting up for a breakout. Well, I mean, yeah, I guess you can consider a trap if you don't know what to look for, but we already identify this as price ranging. So we're looking for it to break out of here. I wouldn't necessarily say a trap, but yeah, it can be considered a trap if you wouldn't know what you're doing, like if you don't know what you're waiting for here, because you can literally trade either way, but there's no guarantee it's going to go that direction. So basically what I'm looking for here is for price to break out of this area. But we'll keep watching for it. Yeah, Talandi said fake out Fridays. Nixie getting ready for the breakout to the upside. I could see that. Because I do see price pretty much correcting back to the upside, at least to like opening price up here, or even news price, but we'll see. Yeah, there was a V3 right here. However, I was right at the session, so I wouldn't have taken it. However, it would have hit TP. You're right, Rami, right there. Would have been pretty solid too. V3, but then it cut right at the sessions right here, which I for sure wouldn't have taken. Let's see. Dijon's asking, how do MFF lot sizes work? MFF is just 10 times FTMO. So if you're using a 1 lot on FTMO, it would be a 10 lot on MFF. And then vice versa, if you're using a 10 lot on FTMO like I do, then MFF would be 100 lots. They use micro lot sizing. So FTMO uses mini lot sizing. That's why they're like a 0.10 is compared to a 1 lot on FTMO, and then it's just 10 times more on MFF. All right, so price did break below here. However, we didn't have that retest. So like the thing that I was talking about earlier, guys, so this lower here has been already invalidated, right? Because, let me share real quick. So this low over here was invalidated because this setup didn't work out. So this setup didn't work out. When price broke below here again, we needed price to come back up and retest the sessions, right? Which it never did. So all we did is we had a break and close below, no retest, and then we needed to confirm push to the downside. Yeah, at the moment, there just isn't anything here right now. Nice. Anton said we closed below that 1 hour order block. So he took the V3 sell. Nice, nice. Yeah, no, smart move right there, Anton. So he actually took the V3 right here. Maddie said we're bouncing off the 1 hour demand. I could see that. Yeah, the trend right now is very strong for a sell because everything's following the unemployment news, right? NFP is like one of the it's like one of the most manipulated days in the market. Like you guys have seen it every month, like first week of each month is NFP on Friday. Usually see some crazy spikes right here. So I'd be very careful if you guys are trying to chase this sell down here. Not that it's not going to keep dropping, but I would just be really cautious when chasing the sell here, because you got to keep in mind that a lot of people are looking to buy the dip, right? Because this has dropped pretty heavy from 530, and I do expect it to correct back up. I don't know if it'll happen right now. I don't know if it'll happen in an hour. I don't even know if it'll happen by today, but I know it's going to correct back up eventually. So, and there was news right now as well. Thanks, Fahad, for confirming it. I totally forgot there was news here at 6:30. So, or it wasn't even our news. This is Canada. Our news is at 6:45, which is final manufacturing PMI. Anton said 4-hour order block at 34,646. Oh, man. I still got a way to go. Anton, 34,646 is like way down here. So it can still come down and test the New York low. But we'll see. We got the range going on right here. So we do have the range going on. I'll just clean up well, I'll show you guys the clean chart over here because it's a lot easier for you guys to see here on the clean chart versus the one with the markups, just to get a cleaner view as to like where price is going. So yeah, as you can see right here, this is the clean chart. Market opened right here at 630. It's been bearish, but price is like really in just a big range. We have a range down here, a range up here. And then now it's pushing sideways right here down the Asia low. So there we go. So there's a retest, guys. If you guys remember earlier, we had this candle here breaking close below. Then here's a possible retest. We'll see if this candle ends up wicking off the sessions. If not, it's just going to range right back into the middle. And it did. So it's right back to where it was before. So if you guys look here, price is pretty much just right back to the sessions. It's just ranging back and forth. As I mentioned before, and I try to remind you guys as much as possible, these are like the worst areas to trade in. You don't want to be trading where price is ranging. You want to be trading where price is actually, trending, like going in one direction, coming down and pushing up. The problem with people who trend trade generally is that they enter the trade too late. For us, we're entering it like right when it starts, right? That's the main thing that we're looking for here. We're looking for the trend to start, and then we'll just pretty much ride it up and take all the entries in that direction. But as you can see, it's like a long process. Like a lot of patience and discipline is required because a lot of people will get into these smaller trends. Like for example, right here, someone might have thought that this was going to keep dropping, right? Because they thought, okay, price dropped, price came up, and price dropped further. And a lot of people would have entered a sell right here. But as soon as people entered sells right here, it spiked all the way up and they would have gone stopped out, right? So you just got to be really patient and disciplined waiting for the trend to reveal itself. Because right now there's obviously no trend. I mean, you guys can just look at the chart and not even draw anything up and just look, price is literally going sideways. Talanji said, already had a good week. So unless we get something really good, I'm chilling for today. Yeah, no, same here, Talanji. I'm the same way. I usually don't trade very much on Monday or Friday. Like Monday, I took one trade. I don't usually trade on those days because Mondays and Fridays are like the riskiest. Plus today is the first of the month. So there's a lot of red flags. So let me I'll mark up right here. Red flags for today. So one, it's first of the month. Usually this is when contracts begin. So there's a lot of manipulation today on first of the month for like option contracts. For two, it is Friday. And for three, it's NFP. So you got like pretty much like three of the biggest red flag days that land today. It's the first of the month, April 1st, it's Friday, and it's NFP. All right, I put NFP. NFP. So as you can see right here, there's a lot of red flags today. Like if you guys have been trading for a while, you guys will understand what I mean by this. First of the month is because a lot of option contracts expired yesterday and they renew today, or the new ones come up today. And options apply to like pretty much every asset, especially the US30. We don't trade options here, but there's option contracts that are running behind the scenes. So we got option contracts that open today, some of them. Today's Friday, you usually get some weird movement. And then it's NFP, which is one of the most manipulated days of the month. Because a lot of people bet on this day, like whether price can go up or down. So just just keep that in mind. Yeah, no, exactly. Jeff said options control market moves. That's exactly what it is, because wherever the strike prices are, that's really where price is going to be bouncing from. So yeah, no, Jeff's 100% right. And we're just trying to navigate through the options market, right? The options market can push price. We're gonna like scalp our little profits here and there. And that's why I find this type of trading to be the less riskiest, because if you do long-term trading, you can easily get burnt at any point if you get near like a price point that price is likely to reject from. Since we're looking for these small scalps, we're like literally we're not even moving the market. We're just trying to get in, get our profit, and get out. It's basically like a little hit and run, you know? Yeah, no, exactly, Jeff. So that's why OPEX and quad witch days are insane. Yeah, no, definitely. I remember when you mentioned that last time a while back. I was like, when we talked about it, I was like, yeah, definitely going to stay out of that day. But as you guys can see, price is literally just ranging again. So it didn't really do much. You can see where price likes to sit around, or where it likes to come back between. It likes to come right back to the sessions right here, right? So price will push down a little bit, come back to the sessions. It'll push up a little bit, come back to the sessions. I wouldn't be surprised if it push down a little bit, goes back to the sessions, no difference. Yeah, I mean, we're still waiting for some sort of, you know, obviously confirmation before we can take anything here. So there's no bias, but let me check on the 3-minute. There's technically a V3 here for a sell, not one that I would take because we don't have the confirmation yet, but just, you know, I just want to show you guys there is a V3 that's right there. So I don't recommend anyone take it because you don't have a confirmation of bias, but that would technically be a V3. It would technically also be the possible daily entry off this if it does close, but who knows if it'll close or not. Other than that, nothing here on the 5. Nothing here on the 10. Yeah, not really much going on over here. But there we go. Price rejected off the low there, and then it just pushed right back up. So there's technically a V3 right there, but it's not one that I would recommend taking. However, and it's not the daily either because it didn't close with the candle. If it closed with the candle, it would have been a little more viable, but there's no, I mean, it's just a V3 there. There's no sell signal. Other than that, let's see. Yeah, Jason said today's market sucked. Yeah, no, it does 100%, but it's normal for Friday. It's normal for Friday and for NFP. Usually I'm just answering questions during NFP anyways. I don't like trading during NFP unless I see something really good. Like, for example, if all the sentiment, like if all of the bias was pointing one direction, like say we had like a strong retail sentiment, and then say we had, you know, strong fundamentals. If that was the case, then yeah, I'd be like, okay, I'll take trades. But right now there's no strong fundamentals. It's down. It's like only up like 60, let me refresh it, 70 points. That's it, 67 points. The retail sentiment here isn't even strong either. So you can see there's a lot of uncertainty in the market. It's just sideways movement. There's not really much. Price just keeps going back and forth. There's no confluence with regard to retail sentiment with the fundamentals. There's also no confluence with the technicals here because the technicals are just ranging. Like you can use indicators to identify, you know, what like everything else is indicating, but you know, just looking at the chart from a bird's eye view, you can tell it's not really doing anything. Like for example, the trend meter here is red and price is dropping, but it just comes right back up. It's just a matter of time until this turns out to be blue, right? It's going to start to shift. One thing to look at as well are the pivots. So you guys can see right here how the pivots are super spread out. As price continues to range around this area, they're going to get tighter and tighter and tighter, and they're going to turn into something like this over here, just a mess, right? Because you can see from this point, price was strong, pushing upwards, became a mess right here, pushed up a little more, and then became a bigger mess right here before it reversed. So just something to keep in mind, guys. Just because price is above the pivots or just because the trend meter is red, it doesn't necessarily mean that that's going to indicate that it's going to keep going. Like if you caught it at the very beginning, then yeah, definitely it'd probably keep going. But it looks like this is way overextended. Prices dropped from 3 o'clock this morning up until now, you know, or not really, it dropped from right here. So from like 5 until now, so for about 2 hours, price has been dropping. It might be due for a swing back to the upside, right? Because if you look at the charts here, price doesn't usually push for that long. Like it'll push for like maybe a couple hours, reverse, consolidate, 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 push up for a little bit, maybe an hour, consolidate, and then push right back down. So you guys just got to understand, like, there's patterns that play out in the market. You know, the more and more you look at the charts, the easier it'll be for you to identify these patterns. For me, I can just eyeball it and I can see where it's going or where it's likely to go. I'm just surprised that the retail sentiment hasn't really pushed down a lot more, because I was expecting it to push down further, or push. Yeah, I was expecting this to be like maybe 60% short, because a lot of people try to just chase the drop, especially for the unemployment news. But I mean, that wasn't the case today. We got news coming up right here though at 7. So the news coming up at 7 is going to be I forgot we had the news right here too for ISM manufacturing. Or no, yeah. So final manufacturing PMI was neutral, but right here at 7 we have ISM, which is high impact. Hopefully this will push price, you know, one way or the other. And then we can hopefully have a buy switch at this point. Let's see. David said, Sean, today will be my 25th day. My account keeps green in profit. I think today's is just a day to enjoy with family and have a great weekend. Yeah, no, definitely, David. You know, if that's the case, you should just go enjoy your weekend, bro. Like, if you guys haven't heard of David, like David joined K2 like a couple months ago, or like 2 months ago, I think. This dude like failed so many challenges, and he was like about to fail his last one, and then he joined K2 and he brought it back from like, I think you were down, you were about to fail it. You were like a couple $100 away, but then you came all the way back to break even. That was our goal. My goal was like, okay, David, I'll help you bring it back to break even. Just stay on the live and copy the trades and you'll be good. He brought it back to break even and he kept going. He had like a week left and he ended up passing the challenge. So after that, he got his verification, passed that right away, and now he's funded. So he's 25 days on his funded account. Every day has been a profitable day for him. Every day has been a green day. So, you know, let's see. Yeah, like David here. So here's like me and David's chat, right? Like David just talked to me. The first time me and David talked was on February 16th. It's been like maybe 2 months. Ever since then, David has had positive days. He doesn't have a huge funded account, but every day he's positive, right? He made $54 that day, $73 that day. Every single day, he ends $145 in profit. Every day has been a positive green day. And I mean, you can only imagine, you know, David's from Guatemala. So it's like, dude, this money adds up, you know? So big congrats to David. You know, David's inspiration to everybody here, because he came from like different groups failing challenges and not being able to be consistent. And now he's had 25 straight days with no red days. So yeah, big congrats to you, David. You know, yeah, David said K2 is a life changer. Yeah, no, definitely, David. And I'm glad, because I know you told me your whole situation story with your family and, you know, life out there in Guatemala. So I'm glad to see that you're doing good, and let's keep it up. It's all right. Thanks, Peter. Peter said the news was negative. So looking over here, ISM manufacturing was negative. Let's see how price reacts to it. So ISM manufacturing PMI was negative. Construction spending was negative. ISM manufacturing prices was positive, but I think the other news is going to be more high impact. So let's see how this affects the candles over here. All right, so we got this right here. This is going to be news price. This right here as well. News price. Okay, so price is pushing up right here. You can see the reaction to the news. The news was negative though, so we'll see how this ends up pushing because you might get a fake out. So one thing that you guys want to keep in mind, and the reason why I don't trade during news is because news was negative. So you might get a fake out to the upside right here. Like this might be the initial push, and then it'll just come right back down below. And that's kind of what's happening right here, right? You can see this candle had a huge wick to the top side. Now it's right back below news price. So something to pay attention to. So I'll probably give it a few more minutes for it to confirm whether it's going to go up or whether it's going to go down. And then we will try to see if there's a bias. I was hoping we'd get a bigger push so that we can have some sort of bias. Like for example, I wanted this to like spike up, or not even that high, but spike high enough to confirm the bullish bias, or vice versa, you know, can drop lower to confirm the bearish bias, right? We didn't really get that very much here, but it's all good. So I was hoping for one of these to play out, whether bullish bias or bearish bias. Currently right now, it's not really doing too much. All right, so let's see. And this whole week's been frustrating, kind of. Like I've been disciplined, but I'm still frustrated, even though I'm disciplined. Because I'm so used to making like some of my biggest profitable weeks during NFP, but this week has just been different. I don't know why it's been different. I mean, if you look at our profits from like monthly wise, see if we go over to January, I just kind of want to see what it looked like. So like first week of March, I can't remember. First week of March was fine. It was kind of smaller. It was like 2 wins. I know February and January were huge though. Yeah, we had a lot of profits that week. So yeah, like February week 1 NFP, we had like 8 wins and 0 losses. Like so many wins for NFP in February and on January. So I don't know, maybe it's just because of the war, because the war did start like, you know, a month ago. So maybe the war is causing the markets to move a little weird, which is not a surprise. But yeah, I was hoping it was going to be better this month. Anyways, so price did break and close below here, this low. Let's see if price comes up and retest. The only thing that we want to look out for, an important price point, would be the New York low right here. So price may come down and test this area, and then it may bounce off, come back up to news price, or it can continue pushing down. My guess is that it's going to bounce off. Yeah, Patricia said this week sucks. Yeah, no, same here. I agree with you. You know, it's not as bad as that one week though. Do you guys remember that week where we had no trades? We had like 0 trades for the whole week. That was like the worst week ever. At least for this week, we had a couple trades and we had like one decent speculative, or we had a couple of speculative moves that played out. Overall, this week does suck though. It's one of my top sucky weeks for sure. Yeah, no, exactly. Charles said, as long as we don't lose, we're good. And that's it. That's exactly the key, guys. That's one thing that you guys always got to remember, is to stay disciplined. Like during market conditions like this, I see a lot of people blow accounts because they get impatient and they just try to chase moves, or they hop into some random, they try to hop into some random entries here. For me, I haven't entered into anything because I can tell that the market isn't moving very well. It's kind of just going sideways. And as you can see right here, price is now pushing up. I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes up to the news price right there. So it's coming back up to correct to the news price. So this is the drop from news earlier. If you guys remember, the news was negative. So it was down 57.1 points. Construction spending was down 0.5%. And you can see price drop right here. Price is now pushing back up to correct to news price. This is where price was before news happened. So when price does reach this point or gets near it, it'll, you know, it'll either bounce off it or it'll keep dropping. So either drop off, it'll bounce off it, keep dropping, or push up and continue pushing up higher. But here, let's see. Toddy's asking, Sean, was this not a high-low scalp, which happened a few minutes ago? Yes, this would be a high-low scalp right here, but it's not one that we would have taken because there's no bias. So when you're taking a trade, you want to confirm the bias. You want to confirm the retail sentiment, or you want to confirm that there's actually like at least two biases, right? So like, for example, right here, retail sentiment is short. So this is indicating that we're looking for buys long-term, but it's not a very strong retail sentiment. It's only 53%. In order for it to be strong, you want it to be about 60 to 65% to 70%. Anything above 70 is great because it'll indicate that there is a lot of retail traders on that side. Right now, it just shows that retail traders are right down the middle. It's 53% short and then 57% long. So there's not really a strong bias there. So this is out of the question. This is not going to confirm any of the biases. For fundamentals here, you can see that the fundamentals are not red, right? They're green. Fundamentals are currently up 46 points. So with that said, nothing here is really telling us to take any sells. The only reason we would take a sell is if we have a confirmation of the technicals here, which haven't confirmed it either. So while you were correct, that is a high-low entry. It's not one that would have been entered because it is there's no bias in that direction. Every time you enter a trade, you want to make sure you're trading in the direction of bias. So if you have a confirmation of a sell bias, then of course you can take any sell. Vice versa, if you have a confirmation of a buy bias, then you can take basically any buy. If you did take that right there for a high-low scalp, let's see. Looks like stop loss would have been hit. Yeah, stop loss would have been hit, and that could have been easily prevented because you would have waited for the bias, right? So this is why I always tell people that, you know, bias is always going to be the first thing you look for. If there's no bias, then don't trade in that direction. But if you want to, you know, it's up to you if you want to trade during those types of conditions. But for me personally, I don't think it's worth taking, especially on a day like this, which is NFP, because you're going to get a lot of these whipsaws where price will push up, it'll push down, then it'll retrace up like pretty heavily. This is a pretty big retracement. Push down, and then it retraced up about, you know, 300 or 400 pips, and then it comes right back down. So days like this, you definitely want to be, you want to have the full picture of like what's going on in the market. And that's why I haven't taken any trades, because we don't have any bias. I don't know if I have the bias chart over here. Let me see if I have. No, it's technical bias. Yeah, no problem, Toddy. I just want to make sure that you're understanding that too. Because the thing is, you can take any trade you want. Like, for example, I see some people who just take the momentum signals. Like, for example, there's like a valid sell signal here, and they don't look at anything else. They'll take this right here and they'll just write it for like 500 pips or so, or depending on how the market's moving, right? People will take trades like that, or they see a buy signal, they just take it like that. Some people can make up their own strategies using the K2 indicators, but or they use different strategies with one or two requirements missing, but those are like very risky. You know, the requirements are there for a reason. So just want to make sure that you guys are only taking quality trades. Fahad said, yep, that's me. Hi, my name is Fahad and I'm a tradeaholic. No, exactly. Yeah, I mean, the biggest problem for a lot of traders is over trading and over leveraging. So just keep that in mind. You know, if that's like the biggest common issue for a lot of traders, you might fall under that situation. And it's okay if you do, because there's a lot of other people that have the same problem. Over trading, revenge trading, and over leveraging. Anyways, back to the charts. There's like nothing, like literally nothing here. All right. So here's a clean chart. As you can see, market open right here. Price has been dropping slightly, Me personally, I'm looking for this to swing right back up because I do think it's going to swing back up. I don't know if like Anton has an order block around here at the bottom. Oh, he did actually. He said it was at 34,646, which is still a little lower. So he has like a 1 hour order block below there. I don't know if Maddie, if you see any demand down there. Gotcha. Yeah. Maddie says it's been bouncing around the 1 hour demand, big zone. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm looking for too, Maddie. I'm looking for this bounce to happen. I think it's going to bounce up at some point. It's just going to be a matter of time. Fundamentals here. So if it does bounce up, that'll be good because it's going to push fundamentals up. And then also it's going to push in the direction of retail sentiment over here, which is like slowly dwindling. It just keeps dropping lower and lower. Yeah, 52% short, 48% long. It's going right down the middle. All right, let's see if it creates another range right here. Thanks, Peter. Peter said Biden speaks in 33 minutes. So it looks like he's going to be speaking at about like 7:30, it seems like. I don't know if that's on the calendar. Good old Biden. Oh, they have 7:45. Big red flag right there. Biden's speaking at 7:45. All right, so I'm hoping we can get at least one trade before Biden speaks. And then price might just come back down. Okay, so look at where price is going, guys. So earlier I was mentioning price is going to have to correct back up to news price. And that's pretty much where it's going, right? See if it actually comes and tests it this time. Made an attempt right here, pulled back down. Second attempt right here. We'll see if it actually pushes. So yeah, when price reaches that point, one of two things will happen. Price will either break below here, or it'll reject off it and continue dropping, or it'll break above and continue pushing up higher. Again, right there, it's just kind of just lost its push. Went up, created a high right there. There you go, pushed up again higher. All right, so this is what we're looking for. There we go, price is testing it. Let's see how it rejects off it, whether it's going to bounce off, whether it's going to push up higher. All right. So one of two scenarios will play out here. And we'll see where it goes. All right, so price rejected off it. We'll see if it ends up coming back lower or if it ends up continuing to push up higher. And there you go. So you guys can see right there, price came up, tested news price, and then it bounced right back down. So this is what I mean about two scenarios, right? Whenever you guys see price get near news or opening price or sessions, one of two things tend to happen. It'll either reject off and come back down, or it'll break above and continue pushing up higher. So this is where you guys could have taken a gamble if you had like some sort of confluence. Like for example, if you were waiting for this to bounce and the fundamentals were red, like say this was like down 100 points, or 200 points. And then say this was like 60% long. If you guys had that, you guys could have probably taken a trade there because you would have anticipated that was going to happen. But there's no bias, so there's no direction to really look at. But just keep that in mind. Whenever price gets news price, one or two things will happen: rejection or break and close, and then continue pushing up higher. Other than that, nothing else right now. I don't think there's any other news today aside from Biden speaking at 7:45. Yeah, there's no more US news here on my FX book. It's just Biden speaking today. Let me see how much these candles have been moving. Seems like volatility is starting to die down a little bit. This might be because a lot of people are just calling it a week already. It is Friday, so it seems like a lot of people are just kind of done, it seems. All right. So as you guys can see here on the clean chart, price is literally just ranging now. This is the new range. It's ranging between news price and the low it created. Anton said, been noticing price starts moving about 4 hours after this live. Yeah, that happens because that's mid-market reversal. So if you guys remember, I always tell you guys, price will tend to, so we trade from like 6:30 to 8. This is usually where there's volatility pushing through the market, right? Volatility be pushing. And then from 8 to 9, you get a lot of ranging consolidation. And then it pushes up a little bit. From 9 to 10, you get some more ranging consolidation. And then from 10 to 12, this is what you're talking about, Anton. This is what I always refer to every day. It's we call it the mid-market reversal. Because we have one direction set in the morning, a lot of consolidation, and then 4 hours after. So we get off at 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Between this period right here is where you get a lot of the volatility because market closes here at 1:30. So this is what you're talking about. This whole area right here is where you get the volatility push because the mid-market reversal happens. So for example, right here, price continues to drop right here. Like say it just continues to drop, consolidates. And you could go back and look at any of the charts. This happens like pretty often. It'll drop a little bit, continue dropping, and then all of a sudden price just ends up pushing upwards very high like that. I'm pretty sure that's what you're referring to, which is what we call the mid-market reversal. All right, price is dropping back down right here. It's testing the New York low. Again, right here, same situation as what happened over here with the news price. When price comes down and tests this area, the sessions, it'll do one of two things. It'll either bounce off it or it'll break below and continue pushing lower. So you need to break and close below. Let's see what happens here. So either bounce from this point or continue drop. There you go. We'll see if this closes below here. Let's see. So it looks like a lot of you guys here sent in some profits so far for the day. So Maria over here sent in some profits. She took some buys, locked in a total of 522. Nice work, Maria. A lot of people here actually sent in some profits. Milzon over here locked in 1,195. Nice work, Milzon. Kenny over here locked in a total of 1,254. That's where Kenny. Patricia over here locked in a total of 2,747. That's where Patricia. Jason over here locked in a total of 119. That's where Jason. Patrick over here locked in a total of 4,853. Nice work, guys. So a lot of you guys are actually taking a lot of trades off my analysis. You know, there's no specific trades here that we've identified, but Maddie over here locked in a total of 5,716. Yeah, a lot of you guys are just catching these trades as I identify, you know, my analysis. So Eunice over here as well, locked in a total of 158. So glad to see a lot of you guys here locking in these profits. Josh over here, no profits, same as mine. He said, look at those wins on both challenge accounts. Yeah, no, exactly. Same here. David over here as well, up 66 for the day. That's right, David. Kenny over here up 1,254. And Valentine over here locked in a total of 2,928. And his other account over here up 2,664. So great work, Valentine. Yeah, Valentine, he trades during London because he different time zone, but still pretty good. Charles over here as well, up 77. That's where Charles, and then his other account right here up 175. All right, guys, good work so far. Dell over here as well sent in his profits, locked in a total of 607 for the day. Nice work, Dell. Yeah, he said ugly today. A lot of back and forth, but it's okay. Today's NFP, so you know, as long as you lock in some profit, that's the real key. Like a lot of people, I see a lot of people blow accounts on NFP because what happens is some people will take some losses and then they'll revenge trade and they'll just keep going and going and going until their account's blown. The thing with you guys here is you guys have a lot of discipline. Like I know Dell here ate some losses, but then he bounced back, you know, right after. So just it's good that you guys are staying disciplined and consistent, even though, you know, the market's kind of crazy. Yeah, Nick said if I ever take a loss, I call it a day. Same here. That's why I rarely lose, because I'm very particular about the positions I decide to take. But I win almost every trade because I don't really, and if I do lose one trade, I'm just done for the day. I don't want to risk it. Yeah, no, exactly. Next, it keeps from revenge BS, definitely. Couldn't agree with you more. All right, here we go. As price continues to dump lower, I wouldn't recommend chasing this dump right here, guys, because I do see this bouncing back up at some point. I think it looks like, so let's see, Anton said it's bouncing off his 4-hour order block or breaking it. Other than that, well, it's like right at your order block from earlier, Anton. You identify this 34,646. So it's like right at it where it's bouncing from. So we'll see. It might just bounce right from here. I know Maddie's looking at his demand zones and yeah, it's like literally right there. Yeah, thanks Kenny for sending me over the I don't think he started yet, but he should be starting soon, looks like. Yeah. Start in about 20 minutes. So we probably pull that up a little later. So this drop right here, there's not really a big surprise for the drop here because if you guys look at the news this morning, all the news is negative. So from 5:30 right here, we have not negative NFP. It was actually really negative. So the thing is, they were last month was 750, and then it dropped like so much less. It went to like 431K, which is like a big drop. So from here, you can see price dropped from 530, which is news price over here. Where is it at? Up here, actually. This is news price from 530. And then again, right here, we had news price over here, which was also negative, high impact. So news happened, price dropped, came back up, dropped further. News happened again right here, price dropped, came back up, dropped further. But you guys can see the pattern, right? It drops, retraces back, then comes down further. Same with this, price drops, comes back up, and drops down further. I just don't know how long it's going to keep dropping for. Honestly, if Biden's speaking in the next 20 minutes or so, I mean, price might drop even further, but who knows? Yeah, Patricia said, I think I'm out. Nothing good happening in the market. And with Biden speaking soon. Yeah, no, same here. If you guys have any questions, feel free to drop your questions in the chat. I don't think I'm going to be trading anymore once Biden starts speaking, or I'm not going to be looking for any trades. I was hoping to at least squeeze one trade in, but Biden's not you definitely don't want to be trading when he's speaking, because the thing is, the problem with trading when Biden speaks is that everyone knows that price is going to go down. So what happens is you see a lot of manipulation. So when Biden starts to speak here at 7:45, what happens is everyone's looking to take sells, right? So what happens is the market makers push price up. They'll push price up to stop everybody out. Then they'll bring it back down, and then they'll just consolidate again. And then when a lot of retail traders hop on the sell side, they do the same thing again. They spike it up, they bring it up higher, and then people start to shift, right? At this point, people will start to change their positions. They'll go from sells to now buys. And then as soon as they enter buys, the market makers drop it all the way back down, and it goes back to where it was supposed to go, which is down, right? And I'm sure you guys have seen this like ugly pattern before. Not even a pattern, it's just like, it's whenever you think price is going to go one direction. So if everyone thinks price is going to go down, they'll spike price up, stop everybody out, bring it back down, so they hop right back in, consolidate, stop them out again. And then they push it up to make it look like price is going to reverse. And then when people enter the buy side, they just get demolished right here as it comes right back down. And I'm sure that's happened to you guys. I'm sure you guys have taken a trade and you're like, okay, this is unlucky. So you take another trade and then you lose again, then you try to shift it the other direction. As soon as you trade, you change the opposite direction. Price ends up going where it's supposed to go. So yeah. I mean, other than that, let's see. Eunice said, have a great weekend, everyone. I'm done for the day. Biden will speak. I'll enjoy some fresh air. Definitely, Eunice. We'll see you next week on Monday. Professor said, have a great weekend, everyone. Definitely, Professor. We'll see you on Monday as well. Patricia said, cut it, Sean. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, no, definitely. I'm going to be cutting it off soon. Once we get closer to Biden's time over here, or if the market stops moving, then we'll just cut it off. But if you guys have any questions, if you have any questions regarding any of the K2 strategies, anything regarding lot sizing, FTMO, MFF, risk management, problems with your trading, just pop into the chat. If you guys have any issues, let me know, and I can probably try to help you guys out as much as possible. But I don't think we're going to be finding any trades right now. As you can see, prices, the volatility's died down heavily at this point, and it's probably going to go sideways until Biden speaks. Once Biden speaks, we really don't know what will happen with price. And I don't recommend anyone trade during that point. Let's see. Rick said, Biden's my boy, I'm trading. Yeah, no, it's crazy because you might see some like pretty heavy spikes. I think Kenny over here sent me, so it says Biden delivers remarks on March jobs report. So I could already kind of see what he's saying. He's initially going to say that it was bad news because obviously it was bad news. And then he's going to say something along the lines of, we're going to make changes to bring jobs back or whatever. And then he's going to like not make any sense. And then from there, people are going to be so confused with what he's trying to deliver. So, and I'm sure that happens all the time, right? Like if you guys ever see Biden's speech, and I have no hate against Biden, because I was I mean, I used to be a Democrat before, but now I'm kind of just like, I'm more progressive. But but Biden over here, if you ever see him talk, he'll like start off with like confirming whatever has happened, and then and then after Biden will, all of a sudden he'll go off on a tangent, like he'll start talking about some random stuff, and then everyone's like, what the fuck is he talking about? And then from that point, you don't know what's going on with the market. um but yeah, I mean, no hate against Biden. I mean, Biden's whatever. He's not my favorite, but he's definitely not. It's just whatever. He's just he's just a president that doesn't really know what he's doing. Um, yeah, there's a V1 right here, Lorraine, but it's not one that I mean, we don't have a bias yet. So like I was mentioning before, we're looking for the bias, but we don't have a bias yet. But yeah, this would be a V1 because we do have a double wick rejection with a pending buy right there. So this would technically be, and it looks like it would have hit TP already actually. Yeah, so it actually already went past it. So yes, this would have been a V1. Oh, nice. So Orain took it anyways, and he hit his TP. So nice work, Orain. Probably made some solid profit off that. I wouldn't be surprised if price pushes up to the New York low over here because it hasn't retested it yet. Maybe at some point I'll take like a speculative trade, maybe catch a little push to the upside. But so we still have the pending buy there, and then price hasn't pushed up to test the to retest the New York low. Not really retest, but more so just pull back up. So yeah, we'll see where this goes from here. But I mean, for the most part, price might push up a little bit before Biden speaks, though. Let me see if there's anything here really indicating price to push the upside. There's a mix between the indexes as well. So the indexes right here, we have the Dow down 56 points, S&P is down 1.4 points, not really high. And then we have the NASDAQ over here, currently up 19 points. So all of the indexes are kind of low right now. They're not really above 100 points or so. Even the Russell 2K, it's only up 14 points. So there's no clear direction with regard to the indices right now. All the indexes are pretty much mixed. The S&P follows the Dow, so this was no surprise that this was going to happen. They're going to be following each other. NASDAQ usually is doing its own thing, and then the Russell 2K as well. But other than that, let me see if there's any Ukraine talk. Actually, Ukraine talk. Not really any updates here. A lot of people are just, yeah, same old, same old. Nothing crazy. There goes, price pushes up. I'm kind of tempted to enter something to catch whatever push I can get to the upside, but we'll see. Let's see, 5-minute V3. So if we get a 5-minute V3 for a buy, maybe I'll take it for a speculative buy and just try to ride it up as much as I can. Let's see, where is this going to close at? I did close. Oops. That's actually not that bad. Do a 30-30 right there. V3. I'll catch it for a little push within. Yeah, no, I agree too. I do think it's a bit risky. Yeah, no, definitely. Ruin said, I got to run. Good luck, everyone. Always. Thank you, Sean. Definitely, Ruin. We'll see you on Monday. So have a great weekend. Yeah, Anton says it's a risky buy, but we're super overextended, which I agree too. So why I'm kind of, the only problem is I don't really have any confluences. Like the fundamentals aren't really pushing to the upside. I mean, they're down a little bit. They're not down that much, but they are down 48 points. What else? 12.7 over here. retail sentiment's right down the middle. So there's like really no confluences at all. Go back to the 1 minute. So I think this is what I'll do. If price ends up pushing above this point right here, then I'll probably take like a little buy stop and I'll just catch as it rides up. And see where price pushes from here. And this isn't one that I recommend anyone take. I'm just trying to catch a little speculative buy here. See the sense of spiking to the upside. See, Biden is speaking in about 10 minutes. So guys, just another reminder, if you guys have any questions, just put, your questions in the chat, and then I will answer whatever questions you guys have. I don't think we're going to be entering any like official trades from now until close because the market is just not really giving us anything. I don't expect anything to come out of it. So looking at this over here, let me go back to the 5. This thing's literally just bouncing back and forth. At that point. Let's see. Yeah, Biden is speaking soon. Let me see what time. 7:45. I'm like wondering if he'll start early, but he usually starts late. If you guys remember the last time we were waiting for Biden to speak, and then he was like slowly walking up to the podium, and then he didn't start for like another hour. Yeah, I don't really see anything here. But yeah, guys, if you guys have questions, I'm here to answer whatever questions you guys have. I'm just sitting around waiting for any questions to come in because we don't really have anything to look at. The Russia and Ukraine war hasn't really changed much. It's, same all since prior. Price is pretty much just going to a range at this moment. Well, it's been in a range, it hasn't really changed. It's just the volatility's died down a lot because a lot of people are waiting for, seems like a lot of people are just either pulled out because Biden's going to speak soon or they're just done for the week, which makes sense. It's not really worth, I guess, risking. Rick said it takes time to put in his earpiece. Josh said always running late because he's looking for his dentures. Oh man, it's too funny. But yeah, guys, all right, so Biden's going to speak in about 5 minutes, so I don't really have anything else to cover today. If you guys have any questions, always feel free to message me on Telegram or email me. Telegram is going to be faster, but if you guys want to email me, I can always give you guys a more detailed response there. Other than that, we are going to have our group mentoring session on Monday next week at 2 o'clock, same time as usual. And I'm going to start working on the new videos soon, guys. I haven't started yet. I'm still in the process of moving, unfortunately, but everything's getting in line. So hopefully by next week, I can start recording the new videos for the version, for all the variations, the high-low scalp, the basically all the confluences, and a lot of things that I use behind the scenes that I've been discussing during the live. Yeah, my canvases haven't been put up yet. You guys kind of see them in the back. They're still around that area. So I got to hang them up. There's just a lot of stuff I got to do here. But I think next week I'm going to set some time aside so that I can actually record the new videos. Yeah, I know. Rick said moving sucks. I agree. I hate moving. Hopefully this is this isn't the last time, but I'm gonna have to move one more time to, hopefully I'll find a house this year, and then I'll be done moving for a while. Let's see. Nick said, I accidentally closed out the dashboard that shows my total profits and stuff on MT4. Anyone know how to open that? I think it's called a terminal, Nick. So if you go over to view, I think it might be status bar. I know the bottom is called a terminal though. So I don't know if you could look at your settings over there and try to find it, but it should be under view. So maybe view status bar. I think that might be it. V's asking, how do you configure the K2 trend mirror to find the blue? So it depends on what you set it to. V, I mean, if you're setting it to, if you're scalping, then you go to your settings over here, your trend meter settings, go to settings right here, and then click same as chart. It'll either say same as chart or just chart, one or the other. And that's how you would fix it to scalping, because you want to have the trend for like that specific time frame. So you just set all of these the same as chart. Your default settings are, if you go to default, it's set to intraday settings. So that's why it's all blue. But if you set it to chart or same as chart, that's how you will have it set to like whatever the trend is for that time frame. But yeah, other than that, David said, have a great weekend, Sean. Great weekend, family. Definitely. Yeah, so David, we'll see you next week. And I think that's it, guys. Biden's going to speak in about 3 minutes. So I think it's about time for us to sign off. I didn't take the trade over here that I was looking for. I was going to set a buy stop there, as I mentioned earlier, but which was right here. And I just never ended up setting it because price never came back up. So no trades for today. A couple wins for this week. Not very much. I only have 2 wins this week. And then minimal wins on my other account since the lot sizing was off. So other than that, guys, I will see you guys later. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to message me. I'll be around for a while. I got to do some back office work, but if you guys do have questions, feel free to message me. Otherwise, I will see you guys on Monday and we'll pick back up then. So have a great weekend, guys, and enjoy your weekend. Don't be on the charts for too long. You know, you guys don't want to overwork you guys yourselves and then be lazy when it comes